quite an honor to speak on behalf of my younger brother. I kind of hesitate to say that he was a great wrestler, but there was nobody that I can think of right offhand that was any tougher. And I kind of contributed some of that. Being 2 years older, I got to chase him around. I was chased around by my older brother, Lyle. There's Mr. Davis. I'm sure most of you know him. He goes here. I think I would like to pass this over to him. He probably can tell you more about Clarence than I can.
Hey, I do know this guy. When I was in 1959, I was my dad was the coach of that team, or he was actually the football coach here at that time, and he was the assistant wrestling coach. So I was a typical coach's kid. You know, I'm sitting on the bench with these guys, worshiping every move they made. But I remember Clarence extremely well. Probably, he had hydraulic strength. He was an unbelievably powerful man. He kind of an interesting story on how they won the 1959 state championship. The head coach at that time was a guy by the name of Harry Goebelman. I don't know, some of the old timers around here probably remember Harry. It's hard to forget him. Came out of East St. Louis, just a tough old hard-nosed guy, and built this powerhouse wrestling program. And he kind of snookered the state with Clarence Seal. That's how they won the state championship that year. He was extremely well respected. Everybody's afraid of him. And he kind of put the word out. This is before the days of internet and all that kind of stuff. Put the word out. Clarence Seal's going to wrestle 136. And it was like, I don't know, 14 weight classes, 13 weight classes that time. So everybody in the state that was any good at 136 blew out of the weight class and went up to 141, okay? We're not going to wrestle Seal. So what happened is, showed up at the state tournament, Seal was at 141. And Kenny Davidson, who is the ex-sheriff here in Deschutes County, they slipped him at 136. Kenny took second. Obviously, Clarence went through and blew everybody away, and they won it. They won it by 3 points. That's how they won the state championship. It was kind of a coaching coup by the staff at that particular time. But Clarence Seal was an interesting guy. He went back to college at about age 24, 25. I was talking to his wife. I think he was 24. It isn't like he went right out of high school and went to college. He kicked around, worked at various different jobs, and somebody talked him into going back to school, I think 5 years after he got out of high school. Went on, that's when he won, you read the things too. I know he won 2 Division II national championships, was a Division I All-American. And I kind of, my dad, who was the coach here, then ended up being the wrestling coach at Western Oregon. I wrestled for him, and then played football and wrestled for him at the college. And Clarence stayed in touch. He was one of those guys who was very loyal to my dad, and he would come down and practice with us. I hated it. I mean, I'd see that guy walk in the practice, and he abused me for hour upon hour. And one of those things where I've never wrestled anybody that powerful. I mean, he would actually, you couldn't breathe. I mean, he would tight waist you to the point where he would suck the air out of your guts. I mean, and he just laughed. That was great. But he was an amazing athlete. And I also had the opportunity to watch him wrestle at Portland State a few times. He was kind of a character. His wife would probably agree. He would always show, you always knew who Clarence was, because when they'd come out and warm up, Clarence had a cowboy hat on. I mean, this is in wrestling warm-ups, cowboy hat and toothpick, you know? And he'd take that thing off, go out, kick the guy's tail, put the hat back on, toothpick back in his mouth, and just sit back and relax. You know, he's just an amazing athlete and a fun guy, just a great guy to be around. And it's one of those guys that he's still, all the old wrestling people still remember Clarence Seal. So, and the family is a great group of people. So it's my pleasure to be able to present Clarence Seal into this organization. And I guess I'll present that to his wife.
Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you, Mr. Walsh, and all the rest of you who put your time and effort into making this night possible. Clarence had a stroke in December, and he's paralyzed on the right side, and his mind is not there. So that's why I didn't bring him tonight, because he wouldn't have known any of you. And he doesn't do crowds anymore, so, and lots of noise is bothering him, but he's pretty good and he's doing okay. And we've had a lot of good years and a lot of fun.